So I made a video today earlier about surface problems, which is a term that I use to describe the type of problems that Jeremy and I have, which basically just means like when we have a fight or an argument, disagreement, whatever, we talk about it, we handle it, and we fix it, and we focus on it right then and there. We keep it at the surface because otherwise, later on, when you're having another argument, because you're in a relationship and they're going to happen, you'll bring up old things that you had said were settled that really weren't. And that's just, it's repetitive, it's redundant, it's laziness, because you're not fixing the problems as they come, you're just waiting for, a different opportunity to work with it. So, I had a thought about this technique of arguing and this idea of keeping things on the surface, and I get how difficult it can be. And the reason I think that it's so difficult is because when we're in a fight, when we're in our feelings and our emotions, we're not thinking about anything else but that. How am I feeling at this moment? What's going on with me? What's happening with me? So we're like super focused on trying to figure out what's going on with us that we're not thinking whatsoever about the other person. And the problem with that is, if you're doing that, then the person that you're fighting with is probably doing the same thing. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're all selfish and we only think of ourselves? A little bit. It's a practice that I've had to actually practice, which is thinking about how the other person is feeling or thinking in that moment. And it works without you having to control the other person, which is another reason I think fights are so hard, because when you're trying to communicate with someone what's going on with you and they don't get it, or they're not hearing you, or it's not fixing itself, or it's not right, and you're getting frustrated, you are creating this lie in your head that the person that you chose to be with doesn't care about you and they don't like you, and you're telling yourself and feeding yourself a bunch of lies because you're angry. So it's that emotion that lies to you and tells you, oh, you're angry, so let's just figure out a bunch of shit to be angry about. And it's a negative trap that you don't want to get caught in. So what you need to start practicing, what I believe works because I have practiced it myself, is instead of trying to win the argument, instead of trying to win or be right, practice thinking about what the other person is talking about. Now, you're going to hear this and you're going to be like, no, because they're not doing that. And that's right. They're not. And the reason why they're not is because they have never seen anybody do it themselves. If you want to get whatever you want to get in a relationship, you have to put that out there. Was it easy for me the first time when Jeremy told me, some of the things that I was saying to him was not okay, was not happy with what he was? No, it broke my heart because that's not what I'm trying to do. If I care about someone and love somebody, the last thing I want to do is hurt them. But in an argument, when you're upset and you're angry and your emotions are telling you what's real and what's not, you can be coerced into believing lies. And they're lies that you make up in your own head. So a really great way to get out of your head is to, one, you can practice 5-second rule, and two, which means basically you just count back from 5 and think of something else, more positive, something that serves you, something that you know is real, or you can practice gratitude in that moment. It's going to be weird because, what can you be happy about and grateful for in a moment of angry and angst? But if you practice this at times when you are most frustrated or most stressed out, you can really find some very effective means to better your relationship. And another thing, I know it's not easy to think about someone else, especially when you're pissed at that someone else. But those are the moments where you're really being tested in your relationship on how much do you want this? How much do you care about that person? How much do you care about yourself to take the time to actually, make the relationship work for you? You can't control the other person, which is probably why you're angry in the first place. You're trying to make them see your side, and you can't. So why not instead try to see theirs and listen and ask questions? And I know it seems crazy, but it works. If you can pull yourself out of that moment of anger and ask them, what's going on with you? What am I not hearing? What am I not hearing from you, as opposed to what are you not hearing from me. Take the focus off yourself and focus on the other person. And when you do this, you will be amazed at how much results you're going to get, because when you stop thinking about yourself and you start thinking about others, you're going to find that you are going to have so much more happiness. I believe that joy comes from the three-lettered acronym. Joy stands for Jesus, and then others, and then yourself. And you really do need, in those moments, especially when you're vulnerable and when you're angry, to take a step back and say, is this really who I want to be? Do I want to be the person who's right or condemning my relationship or making my partner feel bad? And if the answer is no, then try for a positive change. And that positive change can be such a simple thing as to think, what am I not hearing from this person? What am I missing? I go into a little bit less detail, I guess, on my Dove Love video about surface problems, but surface problems have been the amazing answer to keeping mine and Jeremy's relationship as happy and as healthy as it is, because we don't bring up old shit, because there is no old shit, because we solve it as soon as it comes. So go check out Dove Love, check out the video. It's called Surface Problems, How to Fight the Right Way.